Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be going over the next Japanese carrier, this one being the final light carrier that you can actually play. This being Ryujo, or as I've renamed her, Kaiyo. The ship is actually not terrible, but there are certain aspects of her that kind of make her interesting to play. So let's take a look to see what we have in stat-wise. So she has 39,600 health, practically no armor as usual. Her armor is actually so bad that you can easily citadel her and sink her in pretty much one shot. So it's best not to be seen with her if at all possible. What was that? Belt armor? Yeah, belt armor of 19 inches. That's literally destroyer level armor. However, she does have a speed of 28 knots, so she's still pretty quick. She has 6 secondary turrets. You have 1, 2, 3 on one side, and then you have 3 on the other side as well. So not terrible, but still, you're not going to be wanting to be that close anyways. AA defense, it's not the best, but it's still pretty decent. And with a carrier defensive AA, you can still get quite a few aircraft shot down. You have 3 ways you can have your aircraft set up, but these are your fighters, those are your torpedo bombers, and your dive bombers. So the first game that we'll play today will have 1 fighter group, 2 torpedo bombers, and 2 dive bombers. Then there's one with 2 fighters, 1 torpedo bomber, 2 dive bombers, and then the last one has, again, 2 fighters, 2 torpedo bombers, and 1 dive bomber. So, without further ado, let's toss into a game and see what we can do. Alright, here we have ourselves our first game. We have 1 carrier, 5 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 4 destroyers. And they have a Dunkirk, which has pretty good AA defense, so we're going to try and not deal with her. One thing about the update that came out yesterday, the super carrier for China, the Liaoning, is actually out for purchase right now for about 700 prisms, I think. So if you are able to, I would definitely recommend purchasing her while she is still out. There's not many chances where she does come out for purchase, and I would definitely take advantage of that fact right now. Alright, so this is not my favorite setup, actually. I actually do pretty poorly with this aircraft setup because she just doesn't have enough defensive capabilities. I'm actually going to go to the right this time. So, yeah, with only 1 fighter squadron, there's not really anything you can do in regards to that. And her torpedo bomber squadrons and dive bomber squadrons are okay, but I need a balance of offense and defense, and this is not that kind of setup. But let's see what we can do. Let's see here. I guess we can have, well, let's bring our fighters over here. And let's see. Fuzo is over there. Need to stay away from the Dunkirk, but besides that, everything else is pretty much easy. At least AA wise. So let's see what we can find over here. So we have a Nuremberg over here. Let's bring our fighters a little bit closer out and see what we can do to, well, let's keep them over here right now. It's best to try and engage your fighters over friendly ships. So for example, I have Nuremberg and 3 destroyers over here, which means that they will all be shooting at the enemy as well. Okay, so we have a Hatsuharu. Not the biggest target, but you know what? Ships are ships. So let's see what we can do. Not a bad drop. And there we go, we have her down. We still have our dive bombers. Let's see if we can hit this on Sean. Alright, so this is a little bit tricky. That might be good. There we go. We got 2 bomb hits. Alright, so let's see. We're trying to keep control of our fighters and not have them shot down, since we only have so many. We only have 5 spares. And we only had 4 to begin with, so only 9 fighters total in this setup. Alright, so we have a Normandy over here. So let's go behind this island. How tall is this island? Oh, that'll be good. Now let's get our torpedo bombers back out and see what we can do against this Normandy. And we also have a Fuso coming this way. Actually, all the battleships are coming this way. So you know what? We're not going to go behind the island. We're going to try and get out of here. Alright, so we have both our torpedo bomber squadrons back up. Let's go attack this Normandy. And then dive bomber squadrons, when they are ready, can come back out as well. Alright, so let's see what kind of drop we can get on this. I'm actually pretty good with the torpedo bombers today. Alright, so let's see how we do. Awesome. Immediate deletion. The Dunkirk's over there. I don't really want to go tangle with her. Let's see if we can maybe get some of these aircraft down. I'm not quite sure. Actually, let's go see what we can do against the carrier with our dive bombers, since this big blob is just going to have them be shot down. Alright, so let's see. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, 4 bomb hits. I'll take it. Alright, so our fighters are still out here. We don't really want them to get any closer than they already are to either the carrier or the battleships. Alright, so let's see what we can do. Our torpedo bombers are coming back out. Let's cancel our autopilot and just keep going this way. That New Mexico is pretty low, so is that Nuremberg. This is going to be the problem group right there. Alright, so let's finish off this carrier. Though it looks like the destroyers may be able to deal with that. So let's actually go take out this New Mexico over here. Oh, there's also... oh, no. Fuso's part of the big group. We'll bring our dive bombers over here just in case the destroyers cannot finish off the carrier. Though it looks like they will be able to. Yep, there goes the carrier. Alright, so let's bring our dive bombers over here. And that New Mexico is about to go down. So let's see if we can land some torpedo hits on this Fuso. I know the Dunkirk is pretty close. But, I mean, there's only 3 ships left at this point, so I don't really have to worry about conserving my aircraft. Not quite sure why the torpedo spread is wide. But we're still going to get a few hits here, like at least 4. And then our dive bombers are still up, though it looks like we won't need them. There we go. So let's see if we can drop the New Mexico then. Should be an easy target to hit since it is really slow. I just hope she doesn't hit the Fuso wreck before I drop her and she just completely stops. So something like that looks pretty good. 3 fires, 6 bomb hits. I'll take that. You can see the maneuverability on the ship is pretty good. For all my carriers, except Graf Zeppelin, I have them focused for survivability and AA defense is how I'm going to have them. Because you don't really need anything else, honestly. Or at least that's how I feel, in my opinion. I like to shoot out as many aircraft as I can if I'm being attacked. And then if I am attacked, I want to put out the fires and floodings as quickly as possible. Alright, so let's see if we can actually drop torpedoes on this Dunkirk here. Because I can bomb the New Mexico pretty easily, but the Dunkirk is going to be pretty difficult. Let's get our dive bombers out here as well. So I'm already losing aircraft. So let's try something like that for the Dunkirk. Actually, that looks pretty good. Awesome. And then our dive bombers are coming out. Dunkirk went down. Awesome. And that means we just have this New Mexico to finish up. And she goes down by our team. So let's see how we did with this layout. That was actually a pretty good game. I'm quite satisfied with that. 175,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 20 torpedo hits, 12 bomb hits, 5 aircraft shot down, 6 fires, 4 floodings, 1 defended cap for over 6,000 base XP. Fires and floodings did almost 30,000 damage, torpedoes did 124,000, and then bombs did another 20,000. So, pretty good start for this video. Let's equip her with more fighters, less torpedo bombers, and keep the same number of dive bombers, and see what we can do with this layout. Alright, and here we have our second game. We have 1 carrier, 2 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 4 destroyers. So let's see how we can do. I know I said I wasn't a big fan of that first set out because it was mainly offense based instead of defense, or at least a balance of both. But it actually might be pretty good because you don't really have much in the way of carrier play at this tier. You really need to sink fleet vessels instead of aircraft. So maybe that would be the best layout, honestly. But we'll see. It kind of really differs depending on the game. But you're never going to have more than 1 carrier, hopefully, in 1 game. So if you are okay with taking on Independences, other Royhos, and Furiouses, which are the other current matchmaking tier 6 carriers in the game right now, then go offense if you want. Or if you really just want to have full air superiority, then you could try one of these later 2 upgrades as well. So let's start moving out. It's going to be hard pressed to hit the destroyers, so I'm hoping that my team can take care of that. And we only have 1 torpedo bomber squadron this time, and 2 dive bomber squadrons. I think that the first setup for this carrier is going to be the best because you have 2 torpedo bomber squadrons. That's the main difference, and that's what's really going to be important. But we can see what we can do against this Nuremberg here. I think a few good torpedoes into her side will put her down. Also, I don't know the stats, but I feel like these aircraft are a lot faster than Hosho or Shoho, which would make sense, obviously, since they're a higher tier, but still, it is nice to feel that speed, I guess you could say. Alright, so having our fighters start the attack here. Alright, let's see what we can do against this Nuremberg. So pretty widespread, but that's alright. Okay, so we're gonna go after these. So let's finish off these torpedo bombers here. Ooh, we have 5 aircraft in our torpedo bomber squadron. That's different. Alright, so we're gonna keep our aircraft over here now. And let's finish off this Nuremberg if we can. Well, it looks like she may be able to be finished off by aircraft anyway, or our teammates anyways. So let's go try and dive bomb the repulse over here. Because neither of these ships have particularly good AA. So let's see if we can set it up right. Maybe something like that to start off with. Yep, I'll take that. Alright, let's get our torpedo bombers back out. Where are we? We're over here. Let's actually start moving this way again. Or at least over here. Alright, let's focus down these fighters again. We did lose a few fighters, but that's alright. We have 10 spares this time instead of 5. And 2 squadrons versus 1. Most of the time you will easily win, as you can see here. So let's see if we can take out some of these torpedo bombers as they return to the carrier. Alright, so we were able to get both of those. And let's attack these torpedo bombers once it starts listening to me. Here we go. Bring our torpedo bombers over here. Dive bombers can come back out as well. Alright, so torpedo bombers, let's go. Let's see how many torpedo hits we can get. And let's bring back Squadron 2. 2 torpedo hits. I'll take that. Dive bombers over here. We do have a couple destroyers coming in down here, which actually pose quite a big threat to me. So let's actually start heading this way. And our dive bombers are about to get on target here, so let's see if we can get some more fires. Let's actually bring them over here. I'm ignoring the destroyers right now because I really won't be able to do much against them. I don't have the aim for that. Alright, but I can hit battle cruisers though. We got another fire. Alright, let's bring our torpedo bombers back out, as well as our fighters. Now this carrier has only 48 aircraft on it, so I've already shot down 16 of those, so it's a pretty good chunk of it. Alright, and let's see. Maybe we'll try and torpedo some of these destroyers to help our team out. At least try to. Maybe that Anshan? That looks pretty okay. Maybe not enough lead. Actually? Alright, I'll take that. Awesome. And our fighters are back out. So let's see where we need them. Probably over here. Alright, so the Arethusa should be able to bring our dive bombers back out for the repulses. Let's move ourselves back over here so we can keep up with the other ships. And our fighters are going to go after these torpedo bombers. And then we're going to focus them on these dive bombers. Have our torpedo bombers come back out. Where's our dive bombers? They're getting close. Okay. Focus on them. And let's drop the repulse again. The dive bombers, though I'm getting pretty steady damage and fires, I don't really think that they're going to be the best in this situation. Alright, so let's try and take on some of those torpedo bombers again. And let's bring our torpedo bombers over here. Alright. And see if we can... Yeah, so this repulse is aground. So what I'm going to do is actually drop them all the way back here. That way they all converge and hit this repulse. Or at least they should. Okay, let's see if we can take down some more dive bombers. As you can see here, I'm going to get quite a few hits here. Alright, and it looks like we are out of ammo for our fighters. For the most part. And let's just return squad 1 as well. Dive bomber should be coming out here. Let's see where we are. Over our ground. Okay. We've shot down almost all of the enemy aircraft carrier's aircraft. So she should be a walk in the park as well. Let's bring our torpedo bombers out towards C because that's probably where she is. And let's finish off this repulse here. That should do it. There we go. Awesome. Okay, fighters can come back out when they have a chance. And let's see, where's our carrier? Let's move her this way. Alright, so our fighters need to come out over here. That's a pretty good angle for us. Okay. So it looks like there's only dive bombers attacking right now. So we may have been able to get all the torpedo bombers. But let's see if we can knock down some more dive bombers. And let's start searching for this carrier. Looks like she might be over here. There she is. So let's get our dive bombers back out as well. We're doing pretty good on aircraft ourselves. We don't have a lot left, but we've been doing it pretty good throughout this game. There wasn't a lot of ships that have a lot of good AA at this tier, so. Okay, so you're going to go over there. And let's see what we can do with our torpedoes. So it's kind of best to come from a stern kind of angle. That way the ship goes into the torpedoes, if that makes sense. That wasn't the best one, but she'll still take a few torpedoes. We did lose actually quite a few torpedo bombers ourselves. We might lose that entire squadron. Oh, and the game's over. Awesome. So let's see how we did. 136,000 damage, 2 ships sunk, 13 torpedo hits, 24 bomb hits, 33 aircraft shot down, 4 fires, 3 floodings, 1 module destroyed. On 20,000 damage in fires and floodings, 87,000 damage in torpedoes, and 28,000 damage in bombs. So our bombs did quite a bit of damage this game. And then lastly, we get even more fighters, but less torpedo bombers. And the same number of dive bombers. So let's toss her into our final game of today. Alright, here we have ourselves our final game. We have 1 carrier, 5 battleships, 2 cruisers, and 4 destroyers. Queen Elizabeth and a Dunkirk are going to have really strong AA, as well as the Atlanta that's on our team. So we might lose quite a few aircraft at this point. Looks like we are heavily fighter and dive bomber based since we only have 3 spare torpedo bombers. And we only have 3 to begin with, so only have 6 total. So once those are gone, those are gone. And I don't think I've actually ever used this aircraft layout before. For obvious reasons, because it doesn't seem quite as good as it needs to be. But if you're going to go full fighter, then this is definitely the way to go. Alright, so let's see, what kind of targets are we going to be focusing on? We can focus, well, Bayerns have really good long-range AA defense. But not really good short range, so that might be good for the dive bombers. Atlanta is a no-go. Destroyers, I'm not good dive bombing them. This might not be a very fun game, honestly. Alright, let's see what we can do, though. Okay. So it looks like the enemy carrier is going to be on that side, so let's focus our attack aircraft over, or our fighters over here. And we have a Queen Elizabeth on our side, because that's what I needed. But at least they have an Atlanta and a Dunkirk over there, so it could be worse. So our fighters, let's see if we can get them over somewhere where we have the advantage. So we have at least Bayern and Fuso to help us out over here. Yes, the torpedo bombers and dive bombers are getting away, but the quicker I can destroy this fighter squadron, the quicker I can attack the enemy aircraft as well. So my attack aircraft are just going to hover there for a moment while I deal with this. There's not a lot of ammo on these aircraft, is there? I'm almost out already. But we were able to get 8 aircraft shot down. Oh, but that's in Atlanta. Alright, so let's go back over here. So Queen Elizabeth is not the best target to attack right off the bat. But we don't really have a choice, because there's nothing else over here. So we're going to kind of drop from a stern, I guess. And then let's see what we can do with our dive bombers as well. Nope, nope. Actually, we did get one torpedo hit. And we did get 2 fires. Awesome. Going back to our fighters, let's see how we're doing. The Atlanta went down. Okay, good. Oh, wow, that's a big blob of anti-aircraft defense. We're not going to get through that very easily. So we're going to have a very limited role in this game. At least we had 2 good games before that. Alright, so let's see. What is the enemy carrier doing? Okay, so we have the next wave coming back out. This is pathetic, actually. Look at this. Alright, next wave is coming out. Our fighters, we lost a couple, but we're still doing okay. They do have only half their ammo, so this might be the only attack we can dissuade for right now, and then we'll have to rearm. While that's going, let's get our strike aircraft back out. It looks like our fighters are going to be attacking the enemy fighters. But we are over Fuso, Queen Elizabeth, and Bayern, so hopefully we'll be able to deal with that pretty good. Alright, let's focus on this Queen Elizabeth again while we can. She is kind of singled out, so it's not the worst. Alright, oh, yep, as predicted. Let's just return. Then we're going to go over this big blob, so we might just go over here. And then come back, so I don't lose all of you. Okay, so let's do a strike on this Queen Elizabeth again. It might be too much lead. If not, it's whatever. A little bit too much. I missed with the first dive bomber squadron, but let's see what we can do with the second one. That looks pretty okay. Not the best. Alright, now squad 2 can return. Where is my carrier? Under attack. Okay, cool. Because the enemy carrier is right there. That's funny. So let's see how many aircraft we can knock down, since I didn't really notice this. I was too focused on other things. Are we in secondary range? We should be. Apparently not. Alright, so we're going to keep Squad 2 out for just right now. So now we have to focus on this carrier. So something like that for the torpedo bombers. Dive bombers are going to come in. Alright, so 2 hits for the torpedo bombers. Dive bombers are coming in. Let's drop them. Oh, let's say right about there. Ooh, good hits. She should be sunk, actually, from that. There we go. Awesome. So we sunk her. We have a flooding. Alright, but we were able to sink the carrier relatively easily. How are we doing? 7v7. They have 4 battleships and 3 destroyers. We have 4 battleships, a carrier, and 2 destroyers. So not terrible. Alright, so I don't want to actually get any closer over here. We are still undetected, surprisingly. Oh, we lost a battleship. Alright, so our torpedo bombers are going to come over here. Let's actually bring them over here so we can drop this Dunkirk. Once we get rid of her, we can try and do a little bit more. Well, those are kind of separated as well. Actually, let's just go up in close. We're gonna lose some of our torpedo bombers, but that's alright. We still have a couple extras. And we actually haven't lost any yet. So those are the first ones we lost, but we did lose all three. We did get a flooding though that's probably insta-repaired. Okay, so it looks like that Fuso is going to go down here soon. The Icarus is still down there. Let's bring our torpedo bombers out there. We'll just sink her with torpedo bombers. Okay, so let's drop this Bayern since she's not going to be moving very much. We can get a little bit of damage on her. Wow, that second attack really did not do anything. Alright, so our battleships are not looking too healthy, but we should be able to finish off that Anshan, which is good. Yep, there goes the Anshan, but we're probably going to lose our Queen Elizabeth. Let's see, can we get a good drop on her? Nope. Alright, so waste of an attack, whatever. She's not going anywhere. Let's bring our dive bombers out for her now. I know she's not a big threat, but it's at least another ship we can destroy. So maybe I should focus on the battleships here. Especially since they're getting quite close to me. So I need to back up a little bit until I can actually see my target. Yeah, because I'm already losing aircraft. Alright, so I can see the Dunkirk. Let's just go for it. Although she keeps maneuvering. Ooh, Bayern. Alright, so let's see. She's moving now. And we lost almost all of our dive bombers. Oh well. Okay, so these are our last 3 torpedo bombers. So let's make this count. That might work. Yep, we'll get another hit there. But I don't think we can actually do very much at this point. Though now that the Bayern is kind of separated from the Dunkirk, let's focus on her. And we're going to head down ourselves to sink the Icarus. With or without aircraft. So we no longer have any torpedo bombers. But we still have quite a few, well, actually, not that many dive bombers left. So now that the carrier is gone, all those fighters that I have are pretty much worthless at this time. But let's bring our fighters over there to see if we can spot the Icarus. Let's actually see if we can take out this Anshan. She's been a pain in our butt this entire time. Maybe something like that. Nope, we missed. We're losing fighters, but I don't mind. We don't need them anymore. I'm gonna come in and secondary kill this Icarus. I don't know what our secondary range is, though. It might be 4, it looks like. Ooh, and she has torpedoes for us. We actually lost an entire squadron. Alright, let's get our dive bombers back out. For the Bayern, that's right on our tail. Okay. This destroyer is annoying me. Let's finish it off. There we go. Okay. We need to move. So at least the Anshan was sunk. That helps us a little bit. We are winning on points. Not the best drop, but it's what we can do right now. And we did get a fire. See, how's our destroyer? Our destroyer is pretty low. We probably will not survive against the Dunkirk. But maybe there will be some good torpedo hits. Nope. Yeah, so this is probably going to be a loss, unfortunately, but that's alright. Alright, so let's bring our dive bombers back out and see what more damage we can get before the game ends. It's not going to be a victory. They're going to win on points and caps. It doesn't even look like this Bayern is moving. Alright, so let's get a couple more dive bomber hits. 2 fires. I'll take that. And then we're going to lose a bunch of aircraft to that Dunkirk, which I was hoping would be taken out by now, but that's okay. We might be able to sink the Bayern, but that would be about it. We can try ramming, though the secondaries would still take me apart, especially after that torpedo I took. Alright, let's try and keep both of these battleships spotted. The Bayern did put the fires out, or they went out by themselves. Ooh, the Dunkirk's gonna go aground. Oh, but the time's almost out. Yeah, we're gonna lose on time. Alright, well maybe we can get another kill before the time runs out. Maybe a couple more fires? Ooh, 3 fires. Awesome. And then we fly right over Dunkirk, so we're going to lose more aircraft there. But we should be able to get that kill. Awesome, we got a kill. But not much more that we can do at this point. We just can't do enough damage. It's really those torpedo bombers that are really good for attacking enemy ships. So for the first setup, you're more attack oriented, and for the second setup, you're more offensive and defensive. Okay, let's see here. Maybe we can get a couple more bomb hits? No, time is going to run out. So it is a defeat. Ooh, can we get more bomb hits? Yes! Alright, but we lost. So let's see how we did after all of that. 150,000 damage, 3 ships sunk, 7 torpedo hits, 35 bomb hits, 37 aircraft shot down, 13 fires, 3 floodings, and 2 secondary hits. We had 48,000 damage in fires and floodings. Secondary battery did almost 1,000 damage. Torpedoes did 45,000, and bombs did 55,000 damage. So between 7 torpedoes and 35 bombs, they did almost the same amount of damage. So yes, my recommendations is if you are offensive, I would go with mod 1, and if you're a mix of offense and good defense, you want to go with mod 2. Mod 3 seems a little wonky. I mean, if you really need good fighters but good offense, just go with 2, because mod 3 is pretty much just defense, nothing else, and that's not going to win you the game, as you just saw. Pretty good carrier, like I said, and yeah, I have no complaints about her. So with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we go over Soryu, which will be another 3-game video. And just as a reminder, Lining is currently out for purchase in the gem shop, or well, the gem ships area, and she's there for 700 prisms. So if you really want a super carrier that is overpowered as all heck, go ahead and get her while you can. So again, thank you for watching and take care.